Hi friends, I'm Clara. Welcome back to Sweet Vintage Home. There is something so special about the weight of a heavy cedar chest lid or the soft creak of an old linen cupboard door. This morning, I decided to go through a collection of textiles I've gathered over the years, some from my own grandmother's home in the Midwest, and a few treasures I've found at small-town estate sales. As I unfolded those neatly pressed layers of cotton, lace, and wool, I realized I wasn't just looking at old fabric. I was looking at a complete cottage color story. Today, I want to share how these vintage pieces, the ones many of us already have tucked away, can actually serve as the perfect color guide for our entire home. We're going to look at how a single embroidered pillowcase or a handmade crochet throw can help you choose the right shades for your walls, your furniture, and your little corners, making a room feel unified and full of soul. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, do you have a favorite textile tucked away in a chest or a cupboard that you just can't bring yourself to part with? Tell me about it in the comments. When we look at modern mass-produced decor, the colors can often feel a bit flat or even a little too bright. But when you open an old linen chest, you see a different kind of palette. These are colors that have aged gracefully, what I like to call living colors. We see buttercream whites instead of stark hospital white, mossy greens, dusty roses, and that beautiful muted porcelain blue that seems to go with everything. These colors didn't happen by accident. Our mothers and grandmothers chose these threads and yarns because they felt natural and comforting. If you're feeling overwhelmed by paint chips or trying to decide on a new rug, my best advice is to stop looking at the store displays and start looking at your favorite handmade piece. Take, for example, a vintage 1940s flour sack apron with a tiny sprig of cherry red and sage green. That tiny bit of embroidery tells you exactly which colors belong together. It's a roadmap for a room. By using a textile as your starting point, you're not just following a trend, you're continuing a story that has already stood the test of time. The living room is often the hardest place to get right because it's where we have the most stuff. But look at how one significant handmade piece can ground the entire space. Suppose you have a large, colorful granny square Afghan, perhaps one in shades of mustard, cream, and a deep forest green. Instead of letting it just be a random blanket on the back of the sofa, let it be the boss of the room. Drape that throw over the arm of a neutral, cream-colored slip-covered chair. Now, look for those same colors in small ways around the room. You might place a single mustard yellow stoneware crock on a side table or find a small botanical print that features that same forest green. One styling mistake I often see is trying to match everything perfectly. In a real American cottage, things should look collected, not cluttered. If your crochet throw has 3 or 4 colors, you only need to repeat 1 or 2 of them in your pillows or curtains. This creates a visual bridge that makes the room feel intentional. It's about creating a conversation between your furniture and your handmade treasures. The kitchen can often feel a bit cold with all its hard surfaces, the wood of the cabinets, the metal of the appliances, and the stone of the countertops. This is where those smaller finds from the linen chest really shine. I'm talking about embroidered tea towels, crochet pot holders, and those beautiful scalloped edge doilies. If you have a set of vintage linens with blue forget-me-nots, try hanging one over the handle of your oven or nesting it inside a wicker bread basket. That tiny pop of blue and green instantly softens the space. If you have a small breakfast nook or a kitchen window, a simple pair of white lace cafe curtains adds privacy without blocking that beautiful morning light. In my own kitchen, I love to use an old wooden peg rail to display a mix of functional and beautiful items. I'll hang a favorite yellowware mixing bowl in a handmade crochet macrame sling right next to a hand-hemmed linen towel. It's a practical way to keep the things you use every day within reach, but it also treats your kitchen like a living part of your home's color story. It reminds us that even the most hard-working rooms deserve a bit of handmade beauty. The bedroom is where our color story should feel the most quiet and comforting. This is the perfect place for those heavier heirlooms, like a hand-stitched patchwork quilt or a thick chenille bedspread. These pieces carry so much visual weight that they almost decorate the room by themselves. If you're working with a quilt that has a lot of pattern, maybe a traditional wedding ring quilt or a scrap bag patchwork, the key is to keep the rest of the bedding very simple. I like to use crisp white or ivory cotton sheets and then layer the quilt at the foot of the bed. This allows the colors in the quilt to pop without making the room feel busy or overwhelming. To pull the look together, look at the smallest color in your quilt. Is there a tiny bit of lavender or a soft peach? Use that color for a single needlepoint cushion on a bedside chair or a small ceramic lamp base. By pulling out these subtle whisper colors from your heirloom textiles, you create a room that feels cohesive and peaceful. It's a wonderful feeling to drift off to sleep, surrounded by colors that feel like a warm hug from the past. Decorating a home doesn't have to be about buying new things or following the latest magazine spread. Sometimes, the best inspiration is already right there in your home, waiting in a cedar chest or a family cupboard. When we use our vintage textiles to guide our color choices, we create spaces that feel authentic, cared for, and deeply personal. One thoughtful handmade detail, whether it's a crochet lace runner on a hallway table or a family quilt on a guest bed, is often all it takes to turn a house into a home. These pieces connect us to our history and remind us of the hands that made them. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If you enjoyed this look at Cottage Color Stories, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me share these gentle decorating ideas with more friends like you. I'll see you in the next video.